very much. Enjoy yourself, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show. You're here. That's right. This is it. Thank you for watching. Well, guys, everyone's excited about this. March Madness is officially here. Yeah, it's that special time of year when everyone at work secretly watches the games instead of secretly scrolling through TikTok. I just love that, yeah. I do love the tournament, especially the first round, because there's nothing more exciting than watching Duke take on DeVry University. Just seems fair, yeah. I never win the March Madness pool. Every year I pick teams based on feelings and vibes, or as it's also known, the Trump-Iran war method. And I have vibes, yeah. Yep, March Madness tips off tomorrow, and everyone's filling out their brackets, including the president. Check out this video he released with some of his first-round picks.
Okay, time to pick up my beautiful, perfect bracket. Let's see. Louisville versus South Florida. I love South Florida. That's where I hit all the Epstein nothings. Louisville wins. UCLA versus UCF. Are these schools or names of Elon's kids? I missed that guy. UCLA wins. Vanderbilt versus McNeese. McNeese sounds like McCheese. My favorite mayor after Mamdani. McNeese wins. Virginia versus Wright State. Virginia wins. Arizona versus Long Island. Wow, two iconic iced teas. Let's throw in some lemonade. Arnold Palmer wins. UConn versus Furman. UConn is what people yell at me in public. UConn wins. North Carolina versus VCU. I caught a case of VCU in the 80s, so itchy. North Carolina wins. Gonzaga's versus... Who are we kidding? I don't need to see the other team. Gonzaga's win. And the overall winner is Trump University. Tuition's cheaper than gas. Bye.
Cheaper than a gallon of gas. Wow. Of course, the big news is still Iran. President Trump has been really focused on trying to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Listen to what he's been saying about it. First, Trump said, it's time for our ships to embark on a very dangerous voyage. Then Carnival Cruise said, hey, that's our slogan. Then Trump said, trust me, you've never seen such a tight squeeze. Then Spanx said, hey, that's our slogan. Then Trump said, every day prices are going up. Then Netflix said, hey, that's our slogan. Then Trump said, it's chaos, chaos, and more chaos, but we'll fight back. Then Waffle House said, hey, that's our slogan. Then Trump said, it's completely empty. No one goes in or out. Then Capital One Cafe said, hey, that's our slogan.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. March Madness is officially here, and you know what that means. Brackets are being filled out, upsets are being predicted, and everyone at work is secretly watching games instead of working. But this year, there is one bracket that stands above all others. The president released his March Madness picks, and let me tell you, it is exactly what you would expect. Jimmy Fallon broke it down on The Tonight Show, and I need to show you this. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break down why this is so perfect. First, Trump picks Louisville over South Florida, and he says, I love South Florida. That's where I hid all the Epstein nothings. That is a brutal joke. The pause, the recovery, the nothings. Jimmy is not even trying to hide it. Then he gets to UCLA versus UCF, and he says, are these schools or names of Elon's kids? That is a great joke because Elon Musk has so many kids with weird names that you genuinely cannot tell anymore. Then he picks McNeese over Vanderbilt. McNeese sounds like McCheese. He says it is his favorite mayor after Mayor McCheese from McDonald's. Then he looks at Virginia versus Wright State, but he pronounces it Virginia. And he just picks Virginia without even trying to be subtle. Then he gets to Arizona versus Long Island. He calls them two iconic iced teas. Arizona iced tea. Long Island iced tea. And then he says, let's throw in some lemonade. Arnold Palmer wins. That is a legitimately clever joke. Then he picks UConn over Furman. He says, UConn is what people yell at me in public. That is a classic Trump joke. Then he picks North Carolina over VCU. He says, I caught a case of VCU in the 80s. So itchy. That is a VD joke. That is a risky joke, but it lands. Then he picks Gonzaga without even looking at the other team. He says, "Who are we kidding? I don't need to see the other team." And then the overall winner? Trump University. Tuition is cheaper than gas. That is the perfect punchline. Trump University was a scam. It was sued. It settled for millions. And Jimmy just casually drops it like it is nothing. Now, after the bracket, Jimmy moves to the big news about Iran. President Trump has been pushing to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And Jimmy does this bit where he cuts back and forth between Trump's quotes and responses from random companies. And it is genius. Trump says one thing. Carnival Cruise says something else. Trump says another thing. Spanx responds. Trump says something. Netflix responds. Then Trump says something. Waffle House responds. Then Trump says something. Capital One Cafe responds. Then Trump says something. Hunt's Ketchup responds. Then Trump says something. Capri Sun responds. And finally, Trump says something. And Melania responds. And her slogan is "Whoa." That is the whole joke. Melania's only response is "Whoa." Like she just walked in on something she did not want to see. It is so simple. It is so effective. This is why Jimmy Fallon is great at this kind of comedy. He takes political news, and he makes it accessible. He does not get too heavy. He does not get too mean. He just finds the absurdity in it and lets the jokes land. I want to know what you think. Is Trump's bracket better than yours? Who do you have winning March Madness? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.